in a world drowning in darkness. When every thought of man was evil, and hearts had turned cold, the earth cried out under the corruption. But amidst the chaos, heaven's eyes found one man, one heartbeat still loyal to God. The voice of God came to him like a whisper in the wind, firm, yet tender. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. Noah did not argue. He did not ask for a sign. He believed. And with trembling hands and steady faith, he began to build, not just a ship, but a promise. Hebrews 11 verse 7, by faith Noah, being warned of things not yet seen, moved with fear, prepared an ark for the saving of his house. Each swing of the hammer echoed through generations to come. Every nail was a testimony that faith is louder than fear. People watched, and they mocked. Rain? They laughed. What is rain? For it had never fallen before. Yet Noah kept building, because faith builds even when it doesn't make sense. Days turned into years, years into decades. Still, he worked, through sweat, ridicule, and endless waiting. Every plank of wood, every drop of sweat was an offering to the God who promised life beyond the storm. Genesis 6 verse 22, thus Noah did, according to all that God commanded him, so he did. As Noah built, he preached, not with words alone, but with the living sermon of obedience. He warned them that a flood was coming, that judgment would sweep the land. But the people's hearts were stone. Their laughter grew louder than their fear. And then, the sky began to change. Dark clouds gathered, strange, heavy, unfamiliar. The air grew thick with silence. And from the ends of the earth, a miracle unfolded. The animals began to move. 2 by 2, lions beside lambs, serpents beside sparrows. The ground trembled under the footsteps of creation returning to its maker's voice. Noah watched, tears in his eyes, as they entered the ark, calm, obedient, unafraid. Genesis 7 verse 9, they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, of all flesh in which is the breath of life. And when the last creature entered, the hand of God reached down and shut the door. Genesis 7 verse 16, and the Lord shut him in. Then came a drop, then another, and then the heavens broke. Rain, for the first time in human history. The sky roared with the voice of judgment. The fountains of the deep burst open. Mountains vanished beneath the rising waters, and every mocking voice was silenced by the thunder of truth. Inside the ark, Noah held his family close. He could feel the world breaking, but he also felt the peace of God surrounding them like the wood of that vessel. Outside was chaos. Inside was covenant. Psalm 46 verse 1, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Days passed, weeks, months. All they could see was water, endless, merciless water. The horizon offered no hope. The sky was a mirror of grief, but still Noah waited. He prayed. He believed that beyond the storm was a sunrise. Isaiah 40 verse 31, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. One morning, Noah opened the window of the ark. He released a raven, and it never returned. Then he sent a dove. It came back, empty-handed. Days later, he sent it again, and it returned with a single olive leaf in its beak. The storm had ended. Hope had survived. Genesis 8 verse 11, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off, so Noah knew that the waters were abated. When the ground was dry, Noah stepped out of the ark, his feet sinking into soft, new earth. The air was clean again, the world reborn. He lifted his eyes to heaven, and for the first time since the flood began, sunlight kissed the land. Across the sky stretched a ribbon of colors. The first rainbow, a covenant painted by the very hand of God. Genesis 9 verse 13, I have set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. That day, Noah built an altar. He didn't just thank God for survival, he worshipped him for his mercy. The flood had washed away sin, but faith had carried him through it. And through Noah's obedience, hope was reborn for all mankind. 2 Peter 2 verse 5, Noah, a preacher of righteousness, warned the world of God's judgment. So when your life feels flooded, when storms rise higher than your courage, when the voices around you mock your obedience, remember Noah. He built when no one believed. He trusted when nothing made sense. And because he stood firm in faith, the world had a second chance. Maybe today, God is calling you to build something. It may not be an ark, but it's still your assignment. And people may not understand what you're building. They may laugh, question, or walk away. But keep building, because the same God who sealed Noah's ark with his hand is the same God who will hold your life in his promise. Faith doesn't wait for the rain to start. It starts building before the first drop falls. And hope. Hope is the wood that keeps your heart afloat when everything else sinks. So if you're listening now, and your storm feels endless, hold on. The same God who painted a rainbow in Noah's sky is painting one in yours. Hebrews 11 verse 7, by faith Noah prepared an ark for the saving of his house. If this story touched your heart, comment below, I'm still building. And let the world know that faith still floats, even in the fiercest storms. Like, share, and subscribe, because someone out there needs to be reminded. Hope still lives when faith begins to build.